Good morning, class 12. So you see, we are in the same chapter. Okay, so today we are going to do about consumer equilibrium through indifference curve approach. So here today we are going to talk about consumer equilibrium through indifference curve approach. So today, with the help of a budget line and indifference curve, we will see how a consumer is going to attain equilibriums. Okay, in what way? Okay, now budget line we know, last week I have taught you. Okay, many of you are not watching the video, so how you will be able to learn it? It is not possible that you will be reading and mug upping it within a few days. It is not possible. You need to understand. Now you see here, budget line is what? Budget line is it shows a various combination of a two commodities that can be purchased within a given budget, okay, and given price of two commodities. Okay, so with the help of a budget line, how a consumer will attain, okay, how a consumer will attain equilibrium through your indifference approach, through indifference curve, how consumer is going to attain equilibrium, that's we are going to see in these explanations. Okay, so you see, a consumer attain his or her equilibriums, okay, maximize his or her total utility, okay, from his income and price of the two commodities. So you see, two commodities will be given, price is given, income of the consumer will be given, and with the help of budget line, how a consumer is going to attain consumer equilibrium through your indifference curve approaches. Okay, so that's we are going to see. We have seen in all this example, the two commodities are taken. You can take X and Y commodity, or you can take apple and oranges. Okay, now so in utility analysis difference, we will assume that indifference curve, okay, that it will gives, so the consumer tries to maximize his utility. So you see, in indifference curves you have seen only the curve, okay, IC curves you have seen, higher the curve, higher will be the utility, lower the curve, lower level will be its utility. So you see, now with the given a budget line, okay, so the amount of money which consumer want to spend, okay, on two commodities, given the price of the two commodities, okay, we will draw budget line by keeping all this thing in mind. Okay, so while the budget line will show a various combination of the consumer that the consumer wants to buy, okay, two commodities with his given income and given price of the two commodities, and you want to get equal satisfaction from both the commodities. Now this utility maximization is subject constraint getting into higher possible indifference curve without going above the budget line. Now you see, we will see with the help of budget line, without going above the budget line, how a consumer is going to attain equilibrium through indifference curve approaches. So indifference curve explain here consumer with the use of indifference curves, okay, with the help of indifference curves and with the help of a budget line. Okay, two conditions will be there. Indifference curve should be convex to the origin, which we have already talked in the properties of indifference curve. Okay, marginal rate of substitution of X and Y commodity, that is necessary but not sufficient for the equilibrium. So it is necessary, marginal rate of substitution is necessary, but it is not a sufficient condition for the equilibrium. So what is sufficient condition for the equilibrium, that we are going to see. Okay, now so we'll be explaining it with the help of your budget line. So we have taken the example of oranges, okay, we have taken the example of apples. So here same thing, you will take example, you can write here oranges and you will write here apples. Now you have to draw a budget line. So budget line, you know, this is a budget line. Okay, so you can give an alphabetical name to the budget line. So to name any alphabetical name you can put it. Okay, now this is your budget line. Now in this budget line we have to draw indifference curve. Okay, so we have to take 3 indifference curve. One indifference curve should be above the budget line, one indifference curve should touch the budget line, and one indifference curve should be below the budget line. Okay, now we can put a name to it. IC1, IC2, IC3. This is your budget line. Okay, now we can give a name to it. Now you see here, this is a budget, this is your budget line, this is your indifference curve, 3 indifference curve, IC1, IC2, IC3 is given. Now we have to find out the point that where a consumer is going to attain a equilibrium. Okay, now you see consumer is attaining equilibrium in IC2. Why? Because in IC2 is, okay, see the budget line, it is touching the budget line. That means this is the point where consumer is able to get equilibrium. That means budget line is what? When the income of a consumer is given and he is ready to spend on 2 commodity at a given price of the 2 commodity. Okay, so if he is having 40 rupees, so this is his 40 rupees expenditure. So in 40 rupees he is getting this much IC2 level of utility satisfaction. That means here a consumer is going to attain equilibrium in this point. Okay, now you see the consumer cannot go above, a consumer cannot get satisfied with this IC2, this IC3, indifference curve 3. Why? Because this is beyond his reach. Okay, why? This is his budget line. He cannot go beyond his budget. He cannot spend more than his budget. That's why he cannot, here a consumer cannot attain equilibriums. Okay, the next is IC1. In IC1 consumer cannot attain equilibrium because this is lower than his budget, less than his budget. So a consumer can attain equilibrium only at the point where budget line and indifference curve 2 is meeting. Okay, so this is a point of your consumer equilibrium. So this is the point of your consumer equilibrium. So here the consumer attain equilibrium, and this point, okay, this point is also known as your, we can put a T, and this point is also called tangency point. Okay, this point is also called tangency point. So tangency point is the highest level of utility or the highest indifference curve that the consumer can achieve subjected to the budget constraint. Okay, so that means according to the budget he is able to attain highest, this is his highest level of satisfaction. So that particular point is called tangency point also. So this is the point of your consumer equilibriums. Okay, so here according to his budget he is able to get the maximum satisfaction. Now see, he cannot go to this IC3. Why? Because it is beyond his reach, and he cannot come to this IC1 because it is lower than his budget. Okay, so in this way a consumer will attain equilibrium in IC2, not in IC3 and IC1. Okay, so what I have said while you are writing, these all explanation you have to do, it will get completed. Okay, so this is very easy, not very difficult to explain. Okay, so you see while explaining what I have said, so this simple thing you have to explain it, and by looking this you can draw in your copy, and what I am explaining that you have to explain in your own wording very properly. Okay, so this is how a consumer will attain consumer equilibrium through indifference curves approaches. Okay, so this was the last topic of this chapter, so it gets over. You all will look and please draw, and everyone will, very less of you are watching the video, so later on when you will watch and you will come to from the middle of the chapters, you will try to see or try to learn, you will not be able to understand any things. That time it will be a great loss for you. Okay, so regularly complete video you have to look to understand, and you have to read your books thoroughly. Okay, then only you will be able to keep in your mind, then only you will be able to understand. Otherwise it is not possible. okay, to understand the economics concept very properly, because each topic, each chapters, okay, they have different concepts. Okay, now we will be doing a new next chapter. Now you see, we are going to do our next chapter. Okay children, now this last chapter is over. So now we are going to do a market mechanism, equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in a competitive market. Okay, now you see, these chapters I am going to do from the old book. Okay, this chapter, few topics is not properly mentioned in the new book. Okay children, those who have new book, okay, you just look the videos, you will understand. Okay, so you see this 2-3 topic, it is missing in the new book, so I am doing this from the old book as this is your syllabus. Okay, so you see, very easy. Look at the blackboard. So today we are going to do market mechanism, about equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity in a competitive market. So first I am starting with the basic ideas of equilibrium and disequilibrium. So what do you mean by equilibrium? It is a situation when the force, okay, when your demand and supply, so equilibrium is refers to a situations in which the quantity demanded of commodity is equal to the quantity supplied of a commodity. That means when demand and supply is equal, in a simple word we can say, in that case we call it equilibrium. Okay, so look at here. Now when your demand and your supply will be equal. Okay, now demand, supply. So this point is called equilibrium. Now you see, so when demand and supply, okay, will be equal, so both is equal, okay, so this is known as your equilibrium. So equilibrium is a situation when the demand of a commodity is equal to the quantity supplied of a commodity. So demand and quantity supply, when both is equal, okay, at that time it is considered to be your equilibriums. Okay, now you see, you have learned demand and supply chapter separately. Okay, but from now onwards all will come combined together. Demand, supply, equilibrium, movement, shift, okay, everything has to be studied together. That's why I said you before only to learn very properly. Okay, many of you are not learning, many of you are not watching the videos. Maybe you are very intelligent, you have learned yourself. Okay, so now you may understand yourself only. Now, so those who are doing it, those who are reading the books very properly, so for them it is very good. Okay, because all the basic chapters that we have already completed, that you have to go through very properly, because these all are the main topics. Okay, so this was about equilibrium. So when demand and supply is equal, at that time we call it equilibrium. Okay, now you see what is equilibrium price and what is equilibrium quantity. Now see, the price at which the quantity demanded of a commodity equal to the quantity supplied is known as equilibrium price. So you see, the quantity, okay, the quantity demand of a commodity which is equal to the quantity supply. So you see, this is the price, so the quantity demand, so you see demand, and you, at the same price the supply is also same, demand is also same, supply is also same, so this is known as equilibrium price. Okay, this is your equilibrium price. So the price at which the quantity demand of a commodity is equal to the quantity supply. So at this price the demand and supply is equal, so that means this price is known as your equilibrium price. And equilibrium quantity means, okay, the quantity at which the your equilibrium, so this was the price. So the quantity at which the quantity demand of commodity will be equal to the quantity supply. So you see, when the quantity of a commodity is equal to the demand and supply, so this quantity is known as equilibrium quantity. Okay, so you see, demand and supply, when they both meet together, is called equilibrium. Okay, at price at which the quantity demand and quantity supply is equal is called equilibrium price, and the quantity at which the demand and supply is equal is called equilibrium quantity. Okay, so this point is called equilibrium, and this price is called equilibrium price. This quantity is known as your equilibrium quantity. Okay, so this is the basic thing that we need to know before we do this chapter. Okay, so here normal thing, when a condition is called equilibrium, when demand and supply is equal. When demand and supply is equal, that condition, it is known as your equilibrium. Okay, and what is equilibrium price? The price at which the quantity demand and the quantity supply is equal is called equilibrium price. The quantity at which the demand and supply of a quantity is equal is called equilibrium quantity. So very easy, equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, and equilibrium you have to keep in your mind. Okay, you can draw this in your economic copy and you will write this also, that you will not forget. Okay, you will mention all this so that this figure you will not forget, so it will be quite easy for you all. So this was about now when equilibrium take place. So equilibrium will take place when demand and supply is equal. Okay, so you see, when both is equal, at that time equilibrium take place. During equilibrium, okay, what is a good thing is that there won't be any stock in the market. That means how much demand was there, that much only supply, so completely it will get clear. Okay, so equilibrium means no stock in the market. Okay, now you see, if today demand is less and supply is more, so at that time excess supply will take place, and when there will be excess supply will force, okay, the price to come down. Okay, so if again supply is more, again demand is less, again it will tend to fall in price. Okay, but when there is equal demand and supply is equal, so at that time there won't be any change. But again if if demand increases and supply decreases, okay, when demand increases and supply decreases, what it is, that means supply is less, demand is more, at that time there will be a upward pressure to the price, so price may increase. So excess supply will reduce the price, excess demand will increase the price, and equilibrium, okay, equilibrium is a condition where price will not change, supply will also not change, it will remain always fixed. Okay, it will remain equal. Now in this chapters we are going to see effect of change in demand and supply on equilibrium price. So when equilibrium price will, okay, so effect of change in shift, so we will see shift in the demand, so already we have done, so we are going to see, so when the price is same, so how the shift will take place, okay, how the situation will take place. So effect of change in shift in the demand of equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity we are going to see. Effect of change shift in demand on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Now you see, we are going to see the effect of change in demand on equilibrium price and on equilibrium quantity. What effect we are going to see here? Okay, so now if supply will remain constant and the shift of the demand curve, if it moves, so there will be change in demand with much change in equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So you see, if today's supply is fixed, will remain constant. So if supply will remain constant, so there will be shift in the demand curve. So your demand curve will shift. Supply is fixed. So in this condition, effect of change, that shift in the equilibrium on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, always remember here supply will be constant and there will be shift in the demand curve. Okay, so what effect will be on equilibrium price and what effect will be on equilibrium quantity, that we are going to see. Now here equilibriums intersect. So equilibrium point is what? When the demand and supply intersect. The intersecting point of demand and supply will be called your equilibriums. Okay, now so you see, in that case what changes is going to take place. So it will lead to excess demand, so this will give upward pressure to the price. So you see, today if price will be less, so what will happen? Demand will be more. So when demand is more, so at the supply will be less, so demand will be more. It will give a rise to a price, so price will increase. So when price will increase, again there will be excess supply. Okay, so this effect we are going to see now. So here we are going to see, okay, with the help of a diagram. So always remember, in this condition supply will remain constant, only there will be change in the demand, so there will be shift in the demand. Okay, keep in mind. So you see effect of change, shift in the demand on equilibrium price and quantity. So here supply will remain constant, only there will be change in, that is your shift in demand. Okay, so demand will shift. First we are going to see with the help of, first with the equilibrium price P0 So supply will be 1, so supply will remain constant. Now this is your demand. Okay, so this is your demand, D0 we are taking because there will be shift in the demand. So you see now, this is equilibrium price, this is equilibrium quantity. So when demand and supply is equal, so this particular point it is said to be your equilibrium point. So this is your initial point. Now we are going to see how the change in, how there will be shift. Okay, so in this diagram it is showed that D0 is your demand curve, S is your supply curve, E is your equilibrium point, P0 is your equilibrium price, Q0 is your equilibrium quantity. Okay, now you see this is your 0 P0, this is your initial quantity, 0 Q0, this is your initial quantity, and this is your initial price. Okay, Q, that is your Q stand for quantity, P stand for price. So 0 P0 is your initial equilibrium price, and Q, that is your 0 Q0, it is your initial equilibrium quantity. Okay, now and this DD is your demand curve, SS is your supply curve. Okay, now as a result of increase in the demand curve shift from the rightward DD to DD1. Okay, now if suddenly there is a shift in the demand, okay, if suddenly there will be rise in the demand, okay, now see, when demand will increase suddenly, if in market demand increases, okay, suddenly suppose supply is fixed, okay, keep in mind supply is fixed, supply is not going to increase. If suddenly there will be rise in the demand, so what will happen? Supply is less, now there is no supply, supply is fixed, so excess demand will give uplift to the price. So from P0 the price will increase to P1. Okay, the price will go to P1. The price will go to P1. Okay, in this category you see it will go to P1. Now you see, as your price has increased, now they have, so as demand increases, so supply is constant, now demand has increased, so when demand is more, so naturally this excess demand will give rise to a price. So price has increased, supply is less, so here again demand and supply is equal. So this point, okay, we'll draw another demand curve. So this is D1 new demand curve. Okay, this is E1, this will be new equilibrium point. Okay, this is your new equilibrium point. Okay, now you see what happens. So demand has increased, suddenly there is rise in price, supply is less only. Okay, so you see, so it will lead to excess demand to Q0 Q3 quantity. So you see now, so obviously, okay, so your demand, it will increase. So you see, so demand has increased, and this increase in demand has led to rise in the price of the commodity, and where supply is fixed. Okay, so the price will continue to rise till it reaches to OP1, where the demand supply will be equal again and intersecting to DD1, and your supply curve, okay, will give a new equilibrium. So you see, so in this case what will happen? If the price is lower, so before price was low, so what is happening here? So, and in this case what happens? Suddenly the demand started increasing. Okay, suddenly the demand started increasing. Now from Q0 the demand started increasing Q3. So when demand started increasing, slowly the price will increase from P0 to P1, and new equilibrium will form, that is P0 P1 new equilibrium price, 0 Q1 new equilibrium quantity, and your new equilibrium will be your E1, this is your new equilibrium, and D1 will be demand, new demand curve. Okay, so how it has increased? Due to rise in demand. So due to rise in demand, it has, the price has increased. Now increase in the demand, so rightward shift, so it is moving to rightward shift. So you see, this is your rightward shift, so this is your left, this is your right, so a demand curve is moving towards rightward, so increase in demand it is. Okay, there is increase in demand, so new equilibrium price, new equilibrium quantity has been formed. On the other hand, if the event of fall in the demand and the leftward shift of the demand curve both, now you see, suppose suddenly there is a fall in the demand. Okay, so if there will be suddenly fall in the demand, supply is fixed, so what will happen? Okay, so you see here, a decrease in the demand will shift the demand curve from right to the left. Okay, so this will exert the price to fall. So suppose suddenly, okay, the demand has fallen. Now demand became very less. So what will happen? It will give a up down flow. Okay, suddenly your demand for the commodity is going to fall. Okay, the demand for the commodity is going to fall. So if the demand will fall, okay, so in that case your curve, instead of rightward shift, so it will shift to the left. See now, this is your initial, this is your shift. So from right it will shift to the left. So again a new equilibrium will form E2. Okay, so D2 new curve. Okay, 0 P2 new equilibrium price, 0 Q2, okay, will be your new equilibrium quantity. Okay, so this is the condition. So this is the effect of change in demand on equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Okay, so always you have to write here price and you have to write down here quantity. So children, everyone will draw this and will write it down. What I have explained, okay, you all will keep in your mind and you will do it very properly. Okay, for today this much only. Thank you.